Alright guys, today I'm going to walk you through on how to replace a rear hub on a 370Z or a G37. Let's get started. Alright, so we're here in the rear, and this is a little bit different than the front. I have a video on the front hubs. I did the front hubs on this vehicle, and now I'm doing the ones in the rear, so I'm recording it for you guys. So if you don't know how to do it, you have a video in how to replace these hubs. So these are a little bit different than the ones in the front because they have this lock nut right in the center, and I do have a brand new one for this. Technically, if you do it by the book, you should replace that nut every time you replace this hub bearing by the book. If you don't have one, it's okay, you could use that. I've done that before as well, but I'm going to be installing a new one on there, and let's go ahead and get started. So I do have a shortcut in how to do this. Some of the other videos out there, they tell you to remove the axle to replace this hub, and I know a shortcut. I know a faster way in how to do it, and I'm going to show you step by step. Okay, so we're going to start by removing this caliper off of here because we have to take the rotor off, take the caliper off in order to extract this hub, to remove it out of here. So you're going to start by removing these bolts right here. There's a bolt right here, and there's one down here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can in the camera, but there's two bolts and you have to remove them. Now I am going to be using a 19mm socket, and I also have a regular wrench, and I'll show you in a second why I have both of these. Technically you can use just a wrench on this, but I am using a ratchet with a socket because it's easier for me. It gives me more leverage here, so when I'm breaking this loose, when I use the wrench in the bottom, and I'll show you why I'm gonna have to use the wrench in the bottom, I'm gonna have to break it loose with a hammer. Okay. Now for the one right here in the bottom, I'm going to be using the wrench, and that's because you cannot fit the socket in the ratchet wrench here. So I'm going to be using this wrench. I'm going to place it right here, just like that. You can see how it looks right here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because these are very tight, and more than likely you're going to run into the same situation. So you're going to need to have a wrench and a hammer. All right, once you have both of these bolts removed, you're gonna set this caliper up in a way in the top, in a way that it's secure, that it's not gonna fall off of there. You definitely don't wanna let that caliper hang from its hose. You will damage it, trust me on this. All right, so now we are ready to remove this rotor. Now, if you go to try to remove it, and it doesn't seem to want to budge, remember to disengage your emergency brake. Your emergency brake system works right in here in the inside, and that could be engaged, and it'll keep you from being able to remove this rotor. So remember to disengage it so you could pull it out. So here we go, we could see the hub right here. So now we have to remove this cotter pin. We're gonna bend it back out, okay? If you don't have an extra one of these, make sure not to destroy it. Don't cut it up. If you do have a new one, install a new one. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and back this out and loosen it from in here. This is where the axle attaches itself to the hub. So I'm currently using an 1.25 inch socket. All right, we have that removed, and you're gonna notice that there is a washer inside here. So you're gonna wanna extract that washer out of there. I'm just gonna use a magnet, walk it out here. So now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna push this back a little bit. Now, if it's not loose like mine is, you could use a hammer and just tap it back. You can see it moved back. And now I'm gonna show you the trick. This is the shortcut that I was talking about. We have pushed this axle backwards a little bit, and now we are creating enough room where we don't have to remove the axle in order to access some of the bolts. There's some of them that you can get to it with the axle installed, and there's one that you can't. So let me show you exactly my combination that I'm using. So you can see I am using a shallow 17mm socket with an extension. This is a 3/8 socket and extension, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bolts. So I'm gonna try to film this in a way that you could see what I'm doing, and I'm basically gonna extract the 4 bolts. You can see I have the socket here. There's gonna be one here, one in the bottom, and then in the other side you're gonna have one in the top and one in the bottom. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so pay attention how I use the ratchet to break them loose, and then I went into the cordless ratchet. So the whole reason for using this combination, it's because if you use a deep socket like this, the axle is in the way. By using this combination, the axle boot right here, it'll sit around this, and you're able to maneuver it in the way that you could access this bolt in the top. And this is the tricky one. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this back. I'm pushing the axle back a little bit more, creating some space. You can see I'm on it right there. And once again, I broke it loose with the ratchet, and then I moved my way to the electric one. So just like that, we loosen those 4 bolts. Now we could just simply remove it out of here. You don't have to touch any of this hardware. It doesn't come out of there. You don't have to remove the axle all the way. And if you run into the situation where this is being stubborn and it won't budge, you could tap it with a hammer. And you could break it loose. And it just slides out. Just make sure that you're pushing the axle part right here. You're pushing it through, because it's gonna wanna bind up and come out at the same time and get stuck. So that's why we're tapping this shaft in. But you saw, I didn't have to do anything crazy. It's very easy to do. All right, so before we install the new one, we're gonna clean around this opening, just using a wire brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean the splines right here off of the axle. Clean up some of that rust off of there. And I'm actually gonna use a little bit of anti-seize on the splines for the axle to make sure it does not corrode and it doesn't bond together, so the next time I have to service this, I don't run into any complications. So this is just preventative maintenance right here. You don't have to do this, but it makes the install smoother and it keeps it from rusting together. All right, now that we have everything lubed up, we're gonna go ahead and use some Loctite, and I'm gonna put some on all these bolts in here, and you can see they're sitting inside here because it just makes it easier for the install. So they're ready to go. And now I'm gonna grab the hub and just install it. Now, remember this, if you're having a hard time lining it up, and even though you put it where it goes, it's not lining up correctly, remember, if you have the car in gear, if it's a manual, if you have it in first gear or whatever you have in gear, put it in neutral. If it's an automatic, put it in neutral as well. So you could have some play and you could move the axle back and forth so you could make it line up. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a hard time. All right, so now we can install the washer and the locking nut. And now we're gonna torque this center locking nut down, and it's only gonna be 77 foot-pounds. If you overdo this and you hit this with the impact gun, you could cause the bearing to bind up and you'll have problems. So it's only 77 foot-pounds, that's not a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and torque it down. And you can see it's moving. I have to put it in gear or it's gonna move, you see? And we're installing the cotter pin back on. So now we can continue with installing the rotor. I am going to put a little bit of Loctite on these two bolts, the brake caliper, and now I can install the brake caliper back on. So pay attention to the hose. You don't want to bind it up, do a couple of twists, and then install it. I've seen this done. It happened to me a long time ago. I'm speaking from experience. So pay attention to that hose. Make sure it does not bind up on you. Alright guys, that is it. That's all the time we have for today. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I was able to help you with your replacement of your rear hub. And if it was helpful, I would advise you to consider subscribing, because I am constantly posting new videos, new how-tos, and I'm also have a couple of builds in the channel, and there's more on the way. So we'll see you in the next one.